Hey guys, welcome to Hughes History. We're going to take like 3 minutes out of your life to look at 3 reasons why Barack Obama won re-election last night in the 2012 elections. So giddy up, you want to put your hats of education on as we get into the car of learning and drive towards knowledge. So beep beep, let's go. All right, here we go. Reason number 1. Boom, 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 boom. Turn up the bass. This was a strategy that was employed by George Bush in 2004 when everybody was like, there's no way Bush can win, and he did it. How'd he do it? Well, there's the power of incumbency, guys. If you're in power, if you hold the keys to the kingdom, you got nothing to do but figure out how to win. So for the last 4 years, when Mitt Romney is trying to win a primary, Barack Obama's got a game ground going on, baby, and he knows scientifically what districts to go to, what swing states to pound, and how to get people registered and get them out up to the polls on election day. So Barack Obama didn't win by flipping independents. He won by getting those groups that are loyal to Democrats out to the polls. And everybody was like, Barack Obama's going to lose because young people aren't going to vote. There's no more hope. I don't know if there's hope or not hope, but young people turned out at a higher rate in 2012 than they did in 2008. What? Yeah, it's true. Hispanics, higher rate in 2012 than 2008. Not only that, these are groups that voted even more for Barack Obama. I think Latinos 71%. The young people increased up to like 30-something%. So turn up the bass. Let me hear. Number 2, silly season in the primaries. Primaries are always a little bit crazy because the people that vote in primaries are loyalists, are ideologues, are people that are way to the left or way to the right. So when Romney's got to win a primary that's competitive, and he's got Newt Gingrich, and he's got Kane, and he's got Perry, and he's got like Michelle Bachmann up as you know what, you gotta win. So you gotta go dance to the right. You gotta dance to the right, and you gotta say some things that you might not want to say. So when Mitt Romney's in a debate and somebody says, you know, what are you gonna do about immigration? And he's like, I'm gonna get hardcore. People should self-deport themselves. You just pissed off a lot of Hispanic people. And now you're going to lose. So moving to the right is always what people do in a Republican primary, and to the left on a Democratic primary. But you can't go too far, because if you go too far, it's hard to dance. It's hard to do, you know, the primary shuffle and get back to the middle. So I would say reason number 2 is that Mitt Romney danced a little far to the right. The times, they are changing. Demographics are changing. The makeup of the electorate is changing. And right now, Mitt Romney, you know, he conquered with old white people. He did really good with old white people. The problem is old white people die. And look, I got nothing against old white people. I'm going to be old white people one day. But that's not the demographic group that you probably want to like hook your daisy chain to. So Mitt Romney is hooking his daisy chain to old white people, and Barack Obama and the Democrats in general have better demographics. You know, look at those demographics, baby. So I would say demographics at the end of the day is the 3rd reason. So look at the results with me really quick. You can see that the map from 2012 looks kind of like the map from 2008. In fact, the only big differences are North Carolina and Indiana, which switched back to red. So the map doesn't look a hell of a lot different than it did in 2008. And, you know, big props to Nate Silver out there in 538 for nailing it. I think he called every state correctly. So there's a little kind of a shout out for scientific backed polls. But nevertheless, if we are looking at bigger ideas in this election, we can see that while the Democrats held the Senate and actually increased their numbers by 1, the bigger story of the night, other than the presidency, is how the House remains in GOP control. So I have a really quick thesis on why that is true, and it's called gerrymandering. If you don't know what gerrymandering is, click Noam Chomsky right now, and you'll go to a video all about gerrymandering, which is just fascinating. But basically, it's redrawing district lines. And if a state legislature, which is controlled by Republicans, and Democrats do the same thing, but if you look at a Florida district right here, you can see a district that's been gerrymandering gets outstanding results. Right? Republicans win really, really big. You know, Democrats are going to win big in their gerrymandered districts, but Republicans are pounding it out in that district. So it makes it really hard to unseat somebody if a district is drawn in a way where it's, you know, 60-70% Republican or Democrat. So therefore, this has, I think, a twofold effect. Number 1 is you don't get a lot of changes in Congress, and number 2, you really don't get good reasons to compromise. I mean, why would I compromise with Democrats if I'm a Republican from a district that's 75-25? In fact, if I compromise, I'm actually maybe cutting my own head off because I have to go back to my district and ask for their vote in a primary, which is filled with all Republicans. Dick Lugar learned this in Indiana, right? They booted him out in the primary, and then they put in somebody that is farther to the right. Now, when you're running for statewide office, like in Indiana, the Republicans lost because they lost the appeal to the middle by going too far to the right. But if you're in a gerrymandered district and it's all Republicans all over the district, then you're good. So why compromise? You got a job for the rest of your life. I don't know why I'm getting all worked up. All right, guys, we hope you understand a little bit more about the election of 2012. Maybe we'll have a more in-depth lecture coming up so we can look at, like different regions and different colors and all that good stuff. There's really only 2 colors. But we hope you learned something because I'm done. Ding dong, learning's done. Please subscribe to me if you haven't already and check out the description list where you're going to find other great YouTubers that do EDU work and teachers and artists and scientists and mathematicians and wizards and magicians and dragons and pumpkins.